Peace, peace, peace. I'm going to try to make this video as quick as possible because I have a lot to do today. This video is specifically geared towards a conversation that we were having in the Black Real Estate Investors Group of Detroit. So hopefully this helps a lot of people. Let's try to keep this positive and let's try to use this data and information to help gain traction as it relates to investing in real estate. So I want to run through real quick 10 reasons why the real estate market is absolutely going to collapse. It is going to correct and it is going to collapse. Similar to the correction in 2008. Number one, the forbearance program. The forbearance program that allowed people to defer their payments, the deferment of all of the mortgages, that put a lot of homeowners in a situation where they were 12 to 13 to 14 to 15 to 18 payments behind. And it forced them into some new adjusted rate mortgages, some 228 teasers, and some 40-year mortgages. Had you ever heard of a 40-year mortgage ever in your life? That means that people are less likely to keep and maintain those homes. If you don't know what a 228 teaser loan is, it's a loan where your interest rate is fixed for the first 2 years. In the next 28 years, it balloons into a space where you cannot afford it. Those homes will be taken back, repossessed from those people, and they will be put back on the market, which will in turn saturate the market, period. That forbearance program was a setup. And it was a situation where all they were doing were printing money and paying the mortgages for the people so they could put the people further in debt and then lock them into something that they would not be able to maintain so they can take back the assets. The goal of all of this entire system collapse is to take the assets back. They don't want your fake fiat dollars for payment. They want the actual tangible assets. They want the houses. In the old days, it wasn't like that because the dollar had a high value and lots of purchasing power. Because the dollar is losing its value, they do not want your dollars. They want your house. Understand that. That was 1, 2, and 3, actually. Number 4, mortgage-backed securities. So forbearance, 228 teaser loans, 40-year mortgages. Number 4, mortgage-backed securities. Mortgage-backed securities are still bought and sold on Wall Street. There was someone in the comments in the Black real estate investors that said this won't be like it was in 2008. You have no idea what you're talking about. All they do is change the name. They are called betrothed tranches now. It is the exact same concept. They package up subprime loans, credit cards, car loans, and subprime housing loans, mostly refis, and they put them in a package and they sell them to investment bankers. The investment bankers are getting free money through the money printing process, so they have to buy something. They're buying mortgage-backed securities. It's the same concept. When people stop paying their mortgages, these mortgage-backed securities are going to collapse the housing market again. It's going to be the exact same thing. For people who said it's not that way this time, you have no idea what you're talking about. Wealthy people have to move the money and put it into something. Bond market, shaky. Stock market, blown up in a bubble. Housing market, they already own all of the property. So they have to find other asset classes to put the money in. Yes, crypto is an option, but that bubble just popped. Mortgage-backed securities are still a real thing. What sent Bear Stearns and what sent Lehman Brothers crashing and sent the housing market crashing in 2008, that still exists. They are still doing it. Every single day, they are trading them on Wall Street. Do your research. Number 5, printing money. The money printing is what has created these false valuations in real estate. The real estate valuations are so overblown because the money, when it is printing, it has to go somewhere. It's like filling up a bucket with water. Once the water fills up the bucket, it has to overflow and go somewhere. The overflow of the excessive money printing by the Federal Reserve is going into real estate. That's why the value of homes is going so high, because people got free money. People got PPP loans. People got extra unemployment money. People got stimulus checks. Everybody had money. So everybody wanted to buy a house. When all of that dissolves, no one will be available to buy all of these homes that you guys are claiming is the market has no supply. Oh, there's going to be a large supply very soon, and there won't be any buyers for them because the people that the government have been giving free money to will have spent it all and they will be unemployed. And I'm going to explain how that is going to be the fact in a minute. But printing money, it overflowed into the housing market. It overflowed into Bitcoin. It overflowed into the stock market. It overflowed into the bond market. This is where the bubbles are at. And all of those bubbles are eventually going to get pricked and popped. Excessive money printing is what caused the high valuation of home ownership. Yes, they are competing for homes. They are competing for homes because they have a surplus of fake cash, fiat currency that they did not have access to, and these low interest rates. The interest rates are increasing. And for the gentleman who said $175,000, a $200,000 house, now that the interest rates have increased, now you can get $175,000 a house. That is a flat out mathematical lie. With the interest rates being where they are now, if you try to purchase a $300,000 home, you now can only get a home just under $200K. That is a significant difference. It is not $200,000 to $175,000. It is almost 33% in a decrease in what you can buy based on the interest rate increase, the interest rate hike by the Federal Reserve. So get the data straight before you pop off on Facebook. It's no disrespect, but when you mislead the people, you are going to mislead them and making bad money decisions. And I'm not going to allow that. The next one, number 6, BlackRock, Berkshire Hathaway, and Vanguard, and all of these other private equity firms are buying up all of the single-family homes. Why is that important? Because single-family homes drive the housing market. They are buying all of these homes to keep so they can price out families from even owning a home. They want to be landlords to the entire nation. They do not want home ownership any longer because if you own a home, you have a stake and a say-so in what happens in America. They want complete and total autonomy and control over the people, the financial system, the assets, and all of the resources of the world. If you don't understand these things, then you are going to find yourself in a bad position. You can't just be a real estate investor trying to invest in or just a real estate broker or just a realtor. If you're going to do that type of work in that one asset class, you need to understand how all other asset classes and macroeconomics impact real estate, period. The next thing that I want to talk about is, let me go back to this. BlackRock has made it clear that they're buying up all the single-family homes. They're going to refinance your homes. They're going to use shadow banks to let you refinance them, and then they're going to take them from you when you can't pay. And why won't you be able to pay? Which brings me to my next bullet point, inflation. Inflation is going to take up so much a percentage of our income in food and gas that we're going to have to make a decision on what we can afford and where we can afford to live. People will downsize, people will be priced out, and some people will just flat out lose their homes. Inflation is real. It is not transitory, meaning it is not temporary. It is going to continue to go upward, and it is going to continue to impact the ability for families to live their everyday lives. The next one, number 7, the recession itself. The recession is going to shut down corporations, close businesses, and take jobs away from the people. They will not be able to pay their mortgages. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Way too many. And that is going to have an impact on people's ability to maintain their mortgages and to generate a new mortgage. That is going to impact the housing market. Number 8, rising interest rates to combat the inflation. So now, the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, has started to raise the interest rates to combat inflation, to keep inflation low. But now that is going to impact the amount of house a person can buy. So now people are going to be priced into neighborhoods that they don't want to live in. So now they're going to pivot and do something different. And some people will be priced out of the market altogether and have to rent, period. Rising interest rates to combat inflation. We talked about that. Dollar-denominated assets. The other one that nobody is even talking about is the fact that the housing market bubble itself, it is priced in fake fiat dollars. So if your home, right now today, if your home is worth $1 million, it really means that it's really a $300,000 house. That's what it really means. It got an additional 100% increase over the last decade, from the beginning of the housing market, the bubble that popped in '08, to now. And now in the last 18 months, with all the money printing, the property valuations have started to skyrocket. But what you guys must understand is that when the fiat currency collapse, which is inevitable because we are at the end of the life cycle of the United States dollar as the world reserve currency, it is going to burn off. All of the fiat currency value of these homes will burn off. So that is an automatic correction even before the other things that I even stated. So understand and know macroeconomics. If you just are a realtor, you are not doing enough to understand your job. They want to price the middle class out of the market totally. They do not want you to own homes. If you don't understand macroeconomics, you are doing yourself a disservice as a realtor, as a real estate investor, and as a broker. You need to talk to people about these things who study it. You need to study it yourself, and you need to keep an open mind. You need to move away from this position that I'm a winner. I got to win. I'm a seller. Sell, sell, sell. Positive vibes only. I got to get this money for my family, because that is what has you ignoring what the reality is. Now, if you address the reality as you should, you will be prepping and preparing to buy when the market collapses. Get your dry powder and your cash on the sidelines and be ready to get wealthy. But if you lie to yourself and say, oh, it's just going to keep going up forever, you're going to find yourself not working. Peace and love, and I hope this helps somebody.